And now I'll introduce Marie Pineo from Bangor to just talk more about that.
Hi, my name is Marie Pineo. I live in Bangor and I'm a single mom to very talented twin baseball players, teenagers. I'm very proud of them. They work very hard to get where they are in their sport. And we live on a fixed income because I have a debilitating heart disease and I can only work part-time, and work is not reliable. To find a permanent job that suits my disability, the requirements of my disability, is impossible. I need a living wage so I don't have to visit a food pantry every week and forgo church to get there. Recently, Bangor Housing Authority lost $1.2 million in federal funding. Effective April 1st, my rent will go up by $147 a month. Even though I'm only working part-time, I qualify for only $7 a month in housing assistance. Before this change, I wasn't able to make ends meet without Medicaid, housing, and disability insurance. The $7,000 I made last year is putting me too close to the income limits that allow me to keep my apartment. As it stands, just to survive, I must often use revolving credit cards to pay my bills and food pantries to put dinner on the table. I've been forced to cut out much needed allergy medications. Quite simply, a lack of living wage keeps me poor. I don't have the luxury to think about college. My kids are being contacted by college recruiters to go to baseball clinics, and I can't afford to send them. It makes my kids feel bad to ask me for things and to hear my answer. The kids have to ask other people to help. It would be so nice to have the money for things for my kids that other parents can do. It doesn't have to be this way. All I need is a living wage. In a recent conversation with a dear young friend I'll call Sarah, who is a single mother to 2 little boys, I learned that she has to pay $14,000 out of pocket for medical expenses and go without coverage for a year before Maine Care will cover services for her. All of this because she earns $112 over the income limit to receive Maine Care. Last year, Sarah made $16,000 caring for those even less fortunate than herself. So I ask you, where is she going to get $14,000 to cover her medical expenses? And Sarah and I realized the dream of a living wage we could save for college, we could take our kids to camp, maybe afford a reliable vehicle. I could afford gas and groceries, and maybe throw a birthday party for the kids. I would never have to go without my allergy medications, and I wouldn't be sick all the time. I would be healthier, and my children would have a brighter future to look forward to. Thank you.
And now this is Pattty from Sanford.
Hi, my name is Pattty, and I live in Sanford, Maine with my husband Roger and my 2 daughters. In 2009, my husband Roger was laid off from his job as a computer technician at Spencer Press when the plant closed and everyone lost their job. The severance package was nice and it lasted for a while, and he looked for work and he couldn't find any. That severance package helped provide for our children, but it didn't last forever and the jobs just weren't around. During the severance package time, we could afford COBRA payments, so we had health insurance. When the severance package ended, we could no longer afford the COBRA payments. We briefly qualified for Maine Care until our youngest daughter turned 18 and graduated from high school, at which point she qualified for Maine Care, but my husband and I no longer did. We were in the waiting list. My husband suffers from a lot of illnesses. He is clinically depressed and suffers from anxiety. He also, years ago, had an autoimmune disease that left him without his spleen, and he has a very huge hernia from that surgery. And because of the large hernia, he is very restricted on what he can do for work. But he's not disabled enough to qualify for disability through Social Security or to qualify for Maine Care being disabled. He's gone back to school and he is retraining. I went back to school and retrained. We are in the 50-something category, and the jobs out there in this age group, companies just aren't hiring you. They look at you as too big of a health risk, that health care costs are too much to cover you, and they hire someone else. We are just barely surviving on my meager income as a self-employed tax preparer, and now that I've gone back to school, a polarity therapist. And my husband is going to be, we have to start multiple businesses in order to even come close, and it's not enough. I know I'm not alone. I know that there is no way I am alone. I have an analogy. I feel like I'm on the deck of the Titanic telling people, you know, we're on the Titanic and they just lowered the last lifeboat. It's not funny anymore. You work so hard and the living wage just isn't there. It's really wrong that we live in a country where you can work that hard and still have to go to a food pantry or to rely on food stamps. I really do believe in working hard, and I will keep looking for ways to support my family. But I really feel that as once a member of the middle class, that the reason this has happened to us is because the people living in poverty in this state need a voice. It's been going on too long, and times have to change. And they have to start with health care. I think that our state would end up with more businesses if we had universal health care, and the businesses could start new jobs for people and not have to worry about providing the health insurance. Thank you. Thank you.